Jus Nic and Kenny Kalypso running it back here tonight at Super Texas Contender Series 4. These two men had a championship matchup at Watch the Throne in which Kenny Kalypso was victorious, whom we didn't even know when the night started was going to be in that contest, because the advertised matchup was this man right here against Matt Locke, but Matt Locke unceremoniously terminated from New Texas Pro.
Of what's happening now, weighing in at 190 pounds, Jus Nic.
As I was saying, Matt Locke unceremoniously terminated, and we had a pre-show matchup to determine a new #1 contender for the matchup later on in the evening at Watch the Throne for Jus Nic. Kenny Kalypso being the man to win that matchup, and then going on later on in the night and facing his tag team partner, one of his best friends, and coming out victorious.
You know, this is a bit of a rubber match. These two are 1-1. They had a championship match some time ago. Jus Nic coming out on top. Kenny Kalypso with a very impressive pin on Jus Nic at Watch the Throne, coming out the victor. And it's been a very long time that Jus Nic has not been champion here at Texas Contender Series. And now, for the very first time, Kenny Kalypso, Texas Contender Series champion.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The defending champion making his way out here tonight.
A bit odd to say, isn't it, Trent?
I mean, it's been some time that we've seen Jus Nic as champion.
And his opponent from Planet Druid, weighing in at 420 grams, he is the Texas Contender Series champion, Kenny Kalypso!
I'm gonna be honest, Dan, when Ashley said Texas Contender Series champion, my ears were ready to hear Jus Nic. That's how new and fresh this is right here for our new champion, Kenny Kalypso, as he makes his way down to the ring. And Dan, there's a good point I want to bring up to you. Kenny Kalypso, starting the evening, knew what was at stake and knew what opportunity lied in front of him. Jus Nic went into the evening blind, if you will, not knowing who his opponent would be, not knowing who to prepare for. He had Matt Locke scouted and ready to go, but as I mentioned, unceremoniously dismissed. And now, when he's standing in the corner with none other than one of his best friends, it had to throw him off just a little bit, just as well as he knows him.
Hey, these two have had matches before. It was Kenny Kalypso that did double duty that night. Jus Nic came into that match, yeah, he was going up against his best friend. He's gone up against his best friend. He knows his best friend like the back of his hand, and he came into that match fresh, and he couldn't get the job done. Kenny Kalypso, that was his night. He won a four-way earlier on, came in, came out on top.
I can't disagree with you. It was definitely the night for the man from Planet Dread, the Pineapple Lord, Kenny Kalypso. As we see Jus Nic in the challenger side of things, as there you see the Contender Series Championship raised high, being defended once more, only 4 days removed here at Super TCS 4.
We are underway. Just vibing, just exploding. Well,
it doesn't look like it right there with a shake of hands and a bro hug, if you will.
Hopefully they will.
These two, as you said, know each other very well, but what they also enjoy and like about one another is the competitive spirit that each man possesses and the gamesmanship, the one-upsmanship, if you will. You mentioned it, Dan, this being the rubber match, both men holding a victory over the other. Tonight being the best, let's just say 2 out of 3. And who's going to be the man to raise that Contender Series championship at the end of this matchup?
Hey, this is for all the marbles. Both these guys coming in fresh. First time Jus Nic has been a challenger for this belt in some time. Winning the Texas Contender Series championship back at the 5th anniversary show back in October of 2023. Pinfall here. Kenny Kalypso going for the quick win. He wants to hold on to that belt. First time a singles champion here at New Texas Pro / the Texas Contender Series. These two holding tag team championship gold for various other promotions. And now going at it one more time. Third time is going to be a charm for one of these contenders.
And Nick right there looking for it to be him as he body slams Kalypso down and calling for the all-familiar headbutt, and Kenny saw it coming. Oh, as he moves once, twice, and now Nick adapting and going for a senton right there. Connecting on that senton, but taking just a little bit too long of a moment there to make a pinfall.
And you know, how much damage do those miss headbutts do? I mean, maybe you should start just going for the swanton just out the gate. Holy crap!
My goodness.
Whoa!
Jus Nic going for a crossbody, but met with a drop kick mid-air. Only a 2 count.
Mid-air collision between Jus vibing there. That huge drop kick from the champion.
Looked like 2 airplanes colliding at an air show.
Kenny now taking control of this match.
Kenny kicking the arm of Nick, and there you see Nick holding onto it as the pain throbbing, going through that arm. It's going to be hard for Nick to do a whole lot without an arm in this matchup, but there you saw and heard the chop, and now one returned, and now a double palm strike, and you can see the sweat coming off of Jus Nic.
And trust me, that's a lot of sweat. Like I was saying before, it's 1,000,000 degrees here at the Houston Premier
And
Arena.
Kenny wrapping that arm around the top rope and twerking the elbow of Jus Nic, and Nick with the other elbow opposite, throwing a forearm missed and a clubbing back blow from the champion.
Kenny Kalypso, you know, what does that taste of gold do to a competitor? You know, we see what it does to guys when they're trying to get a championship, but once you have that gold around your waist, and I know from experience that you got to turn it up to a different level. You got to go and put the volume on 11 when you have that championship, because everyone's gunning for you now. And the very first person to gun for Kenny is his best friend. Oh! Super kick
got
to
connected.
the dome.
Got rocked right there with that super kick to the side of the head. Good point, Dan. As we know, those championship belts. Oh my! Missed clothesline to the top rope, or top.
The
turnbuckle post. Thank you. Goodness. Oh my! The side of Jus Nic. Did you see that clipping the apron?
Man.
The hardest part of the ring, and now Kenny taking advantage of it as he rolls Nick back in. Oh, there's that bruising snapmare, face first into the mat. There, Kenny goes for a cover, following it up. Good move by the champion, seeing an opportunity.
Now that's the arm that Jus Nic throws that boba shot lariat with. That's the move that's won him this championship.
And
that's kept him defending this championship all the way up until last Sunday.
Without that boba shot lariat being a factor, what is Jus Nic going to be able to do to try and regain possession and become a 2-time Texas Contender Series champion? As you see, Kenny knowing exactly what to do to the man he knows all too well, and working on that arm and elbow, and there's an arm bar lock right there in the center of the ring.
You know, when you're in this situation, you're friends with someone, especially if you're a tag team partner with them, you got to think in the moment. You know, you got to win this match. This is a single.
Oh, you can see that arm and that elbow going the wrong direction. And Nick being able to get up and put the shoulders down on the mat, trying to get a pin, able to get out of that predicament. Is able to connect with a knee right there onto Kenny and sending the champion down.
Nick's got to go for a pin here. That was a hell of a knee. Nick, you got to go for a pin, guy. Oh, he's got bigger plans. He's going for that big lion salt.
Oh, Sugar Honey Iced Tea got met with double knees in the midsection from Kenny Kalypso.
Scouted
and the pineapple
more.
Slicer to the back of the head. This match could be all.
Kenny Kalypso might have Jus Nic's number. The same way he had his number just a few short days ago at Watch the Throne. Kenny Kalypso knows all of Jus Nic's tricks.
Yeah, as we've mentioned ad nauseum, these two know each other very well. Anything that anyone possesses, the other knows, sees it coming, scouted very well as Kenny looking for that top shelf frog splash, I'm sure, as he climbed up, but got met with a foot to the side of the head from Jus Nic.
Oh, they're thinking something here. Jus Nic's thinking something.
No.
What's he gonna do?
Jus Nic has Kenny in position, sitting on the top rope. And a Frankensteiner from the top rope, sending the champion down across to the other side of the ring.
Jus Nic's heating up right now. He's got to take advantage of this situation. He's got to take advantage of it right now. Here comes Nic.
Oh, there's a lariat.
Texas-sized lariato.
Oh, and a spinning headbutt right there from Nic. Oh, Nic once more. Sugar honey iced tea right there. And here's a cover. Nic could do it right here. Oh my goodness.
Jus Nic a little too short making that pin. Too much damage taken from that lion salt. Too much damage probably added to his arm after throwing those
Nic
lariats.
Trying to smack some life into that arm. And it looks like he has that Boba Shot lariat in mind. And here it comes. Oh, it got kicked. Kenny kicking the arm of Jus Nic. And Nic trying to roll through, but Kenny stacking him up. Nic rolling up Kenny, trading off pinning attempts here as they go back and forth. And back, Nic did it again.
What?
Nic did it again. Nic did the same thing Kenny did back on Sunday.
And the new Texas Contender Series champion, Jus Nic.
Jus Nic regaining the championship here tonight in the same fashion. As Jus Nic extending his hand in mutual respect and friendship, I'm sure. And Kenny walks away. Kalypso showing his frustration. I mean, understandably in a way, he lost his championship. Wait, Father O'Day is out here. Father O'Day won the Turbo Rumble earlier in the night and is now hugging Jus Nic in a celebration.
Hey, listen, when Jus Nic lost the championship to Kenny Kalypso, Jus Nic extended his hand in friendship to Kenny and they shook hands, even though Nic had just lost the championship. They were all buddies. They were hugging it out. I don't know what's gotten into Kenny. It's certainly fair for Father O'Day to come out here and celebrate.
Well, Father O'Day in the past has had some high words of praise for Jus Nic, and he's back out here tonight.
All Father O'Day did was not leave Jus Nic hanging. Am I right, Trent?
You're right. He did exactly what we would think Kenny Kalypso would have done. Father O'Day showing his appreciation for Jus Nic and praising him in his victory here tonight and becoming the first ever two-time champion